to the plot, everyone. I'm just quickly going to give you a quick tour before I put my borlotti beans in. It's 8:15 in the evening, so I've got about 45 minutes before it starts getting dark. So let me just spin the camera around and I'll give you a quick tour of what's been happening on the plot over the past couple of weeks. Okay, first things first, new table. Decent size as well. Means I don't have to keep bending down while I'm working. So that's a bit of a bonus. I was going to build a table, but I saw this one at the tip for a £5. I know some of you might be thinking I've been done, but the wood I would have used to make my own table would have cost me about 20 quid, so I'm still quids in. Plus the wood I've got saved means that I can have a go at making a badger proof cage for in there for growing sweet corn. This evening, these are my borlotti beans. They're going to go in the ground. They were sown on the 2nd of May, so that's just over 3 weeks ago. So as you can see, the beans grow really quickly once they get started. Look at that cheeky little snail on there. He's coming off. So you can see a little bit of snail damage. So yeah, I'll give this a little look for any more snails and I'll get them in the ground. Grown as usual in the root trainers. I'm sure you've all seen them before in the past. You've grown them in these, they're called books. Then when you want the grooves in these force the roots to grow down the way horizontally, not horizontally, vertically. So when you open them up, they've got nice roots coming all the way down to the bottom. So we'll get them in the ground and that's one more job done. Over here we've got our brassicas, well, the start of our brassicas. We've got a kale there, and the rest are not spring cabbages, red cabbages. These are the red cabbages I grew last year, and they were fantastic. That one's got a bit of slug damage, or snail damage. It's been quite wet over the past week, which has been good because it means I don't have to keep coming up to water. But that was another kale that seems to have gone the way of the slugs. So I've got a couple of spare kale at home, so I can bring one of them up. I'll put this little planter up here, and I'm growing some nasturtiums, so we'll see how they do. Very small planter, so it's got to be kept getting watered every time I come up, so but that's not a hardship as long as I remember to do it. The other side of the brassicas is got another kale there, and these are Romanescu cauliflowers. These are the ones that look like spirals. Really beautiful to see. And this is another kale, I think it's a kale. It's got a bit of slug damage on it as well. This is where I've moved my junk to at the moment. I did cut the grass all last week, or was it the week before. Onions are doing well, but I can see a few of them are beginning to get flower spikes. So I'm just going to nip these off as soon as I see them, and hopefully the onions will swell up before they go to seed. There's another one I can spot over there. But as you can see, some of them are beginning to swell up a little bit. If I put my hand against that for comparison. And yeah, well, some of them are not even trying. No joking, I pulled a bigger spring onion than that at the weekend. So there's another flower head. So take that off, stop it running to seed. Of course, these onions are the first year that I've tried growing onions from seed. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I've got some red onions as well. And that's a little sunflower, which isn't really doing very well. It's done better in the pot than what it has done since I planted it in the ground. Over here we have got broad beans. These are coming on well. As you can see, quite a few broad beans. So they'll be ready soon for picking. These are the peas. As you can see, we've got the flowers coming on, and we've got little pods just coming on just there. So not long before we'll be snacking on peas while we're working on the allotment. Gladioli, still no heads on that yet. A bit of bindweed, but yeah, we'll see. Some years they come up blind, and some years we get nice display of flowers. This is the rhubarb. Rhubarb's doing really well. We've harvested quite a bit of that, and it's been really good. This is a Pak Choy. It's gone to seed. The weather's gotten too warm for Pak Choy now. Look at that, wow, monster leaf there. The size of that, that's like a cabbage leaf, that one. But yeah, they've got to feed. These are a few little lettuce that I put in, but it looks just like everything's having a nibble at them. I don't know what's going on there. And another couple of ropey looking lettuces that's been nibbled. I don't know whether that's the birds or whether it's my friends the slugs and the snails. But we'll see what happens. These are the leeks. They're doing okay. They've got a bit rusty, but I often get rust on my leeks and my garlic. This is garlic, of course, not leeks. It doesn't usually affect them, so I'm not too bothered about that at the minute. This is a blueberry. This is the only part that I've got left to weed. I never got round to it, but I can see some berries on the plant. We put this netting on to stop the birds. This is bird-proof net, and the pollinators can still get through. But this is a handy little fruit cage for the blueberries. These are the raspberries and the bindweed. Raspberries are doing really well so far this year. As you can see, we're starting to get flowers. And a few little raspberries there. Not ready yet, but they're coming. Will not be long now. I've been having a bit of help with one of my friends. She's been helping me, and she comes up, and she's not working at the weekend, she'll come up and she'll help me, and she's helped me out quite a bit. So she doesn't have her own allotment yet, so I've gave her this bed that she can use to well, plant a few things, and she's got a few things there. She's got a couple of little tomato plants under the cloches, and she's got a couple of the spare beans I had. And she's got courgettes. She really likes courgettes. I can't stand them myself, but she likes courgettes, and she's doing really well there. Let's just have a look to see. These all look like male flowers, and that one's got some slug damage. And as you can see, there's a slug or snail trace on that leaf. But yeah, I think you usually see a little fruit behind the flower if it's a female. So nothing there yet. This is just a wild poppy that was sprouted. I planted it in this planter. The head's there, it hasn't opened yet, but that'll look really nice. The poppies are really nice around here. These are my first earlies, and that's Mr. Slug. I'm just going to get some gloves and get rid of them, because I hate slugs getting slimed all over my hands. So we have, as I said, we have had a lot of weather. Just before we go and get Mr. Slug, I'll show you here. These are my parsnips. So basically every little seedling in the centre is a parsnip, and as you can see in that one, there's a scalloped edge of the leaf. That is a classic parsnip leaf. Now I did put 3 seeds in each circle, so I'm hoping that 3 of these are parsnips and I can transplant them out. So I'll need to wait and see. But let's go get that slug. There he is. Any more? As you can see, there is quite a bit of slug damage on the leaves. But as long as they're not affecting the tubers, then I'm not too bothered. Yeah, there's quite a bit of slug damage actually. So that's my second day of potatoes. That's rocket. This is the greenhouse. It's not in its final position yet. I've got it pegged down, but I've still got to level off the ground and get everything in there. I'm hoping to get some time off this week to do it. And here I've got 3 rows of my main crop potatoes. As you can see, you follow the line across the ridge. 3 rows of main crop potatoes in there. So I've got main crop potatoes in there. They're Cara, and those are rocket. And if I come up to the top, I'll talk about that bed in a minute. If I come up to the top here, I've got the rest of my potatoes in buckets. And as you can see, I've got nearly all of this area cleared now. My friend Delilah, she's been helping me, and we've done really, really well. The pair of us have worked very, very hard. I know there's quite a bit of junk out here at the moment. It's just because I've got nowhere storage left to put it. But once I get this area cleared properly, I'm planning to have somewhere to put all my canes and baskets and things like that. But these are main crop, these are sapomira. All these buckets up to the green and the terracotta one are sapomira. So all of them are sapomira, which are supposed to be blight resistant. And these 4 here, and that big one, and that one, these are Cara as well. It's the same, it's in the ground over there. I didn't have any more pots, so I put a few of them in the ground. But yeah, this is where I had my little polytunnel for the past couple of years before the storm damaged it. So we're getting clear of this, getting all the old carpet up. Still digging up carpet from the previous person. That gas canister, I'm hoping to take that to the tip soon. Someone fly tipped a sign, a house sign. I guess they've just bought a house from Fulford. So they fly tipped this at the end of my road. So I thought I'd take it because it's a nice wooden stake on it for making stakes for my raised beds. We emptied out this side all compost for the potatoes. And what I've done was I put all the stuff that I hadn't composted from this side over here. Well, first I made a divider, a metal divider. So now we put all the stuff that I hadn't composted over on this one side, which leaves all this good compost. Now I'm going to move this compost. Well, I'm going to move some of it. The 2 bins I've got behind that metal corrugated sheet. You can just see up there, behind that corrugated metal sheet, I've got 2 compost bins there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hopefully plant my squashes in them. See the 2 white boards? Plant my squashes in them and train my squashes to come grown down here into this bed here. I'll give this a good clean out. So that's the plan anyway. Whether it works or not will remain at sea. These are my purple French beans. I put them in at the weekend. They look as if they're doing okay. They just need attaching to the poles. Eventually they'll cling on themselves like that as the heads follow the sun around. I'll just give this one a helping hand. As the heads follow the sun around the sky, they'll wrap themselves around the poles. So I've got about 24 in there. Yeah, there's 4 wigwams with 6 canes on each wigwam. So that should give me no more than enough of them. I'm going to put my borlotti beans in here, and this one. And let's go back to this bed I said I was going to talk about. So this bed has actually got ochre. Now, most of you won't know what ochre is, but it's a South American potato. Oh, that was ochre. It looks like it's been slugged, but we'll see. We'll see if we get anything. We've got 5 in there. One of my colleagues at work, his wife is from South America, and she gave us a few of these little ochre tubers. They were only small, about that size. So we've planted them in, and she says just plant them and forget them. Then as soon as the foliage dies back in the winter, they'll be ready to dig up. So this bed is just going to need a bit of a clear out, get rid of some of the weeds, and I'll take those white boards off of there, and I'll plant my squashes, which are back in the potting shed at the minute. Plant my squashes in there and try and train them to grow down this way. So that's the plan. So it's about 9:30 now. Have I forgotten anything? I've forgotten carrots. I've actually got some carrots this year. So I've got my parsnips in this bed, which are just starting out. But I've got a few carrots in here. I might need to get some different carrot seeds because the germination was a bit patchy, to say the least. These are some spring onions. I was hoping to collect the seeds off them, but that never happened. But as you can see, some of these spring onions are bigger than that onion that's not trying down in the onion bed. Well, that's just a quick tour around the plot to show you what's been happening. It's a bit busy at the allotment at the minute because everyone's taking on all the side plots. So it's a bit awkward trying to film at the weekend because everyone's here. But I'll see if I can get any videos maybe come up in the evening and doing a little bit. Now it's light till later, but I'm just going to sign off here because I want to get these borlotti beans in the ground, then I want to head off home. I've had a long day, get these in the ground, go home. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again later.